Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Well, these two quarterbacks, these young QBs are playing in their coldest game ever today here at Lambeau Field. 17 degrees, the feels like is 7. For a long time Wisconsinite, this is known as January, but Laura Oakman could be a Wisconsinite. She's ready for the cold.
Hi, Kevin. At the start of the season, Jeff Hadley challenged his defense to lead the league in takeaways, and they did for a while, and they still can. Jeff laid out some cheese this week, putting up the league leaders, showing them the goal is still within reach. The number they're shooting for today, 4 or 5 takeaways. Jeff said, I want to see every guy after the ball. Guys should be flying, but that's everyone. Matt LaFleur said we have limited time and plenty we need to work on to sharpen our sword, take nothing for granted.
All right, Laura, we'll keep an eye on that. The Packers have won the toss. They're going to receive the football, and a short kickoff. It's Bo Melton, the up returner, who receives the kickoff. And Melton trying to get to the 30-yard line with a flag down behind the play is tackled by Josh Blackwell prior to getting to the 30-yard line. And we'll see about the flag as we hear from Clay Martin on the very first play of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're fucking here, baby.
During the return, holding. Receiving team number 30.
A holding on not the Bears. Holy shit. Incredible.
As they start their first offensive possession of the afternoon. He has been red hot over the last 6 games. There are 9 touchdowns, no interceptions for Drew.
Yeah, and that has been without Christian Watson, and you're starting to see the importance of him at that wide receiver spot. But I'd like to watch.
I started Josh Jacobs. Nice. I don't really care what happens. I expect us to get our ass kicked. Love looking, Love pass caught to Dontavian Witt. Might have been a mistake. Nah, you'll probably be fine. You'll be fine.
It really does. He is really, really fun to watch. One of the better running backs in the NFL.
My dad got rid of Sunday Ticket, and obviously, you know, Meth Streams doesn't work anymore. And apparently NFL Byte isn't working either. Josh Jacobs, there you go. There's a good run from Jacobs.
And it's great to be able to have all these different functions, and you've got to worry about Jaden Reed coming around the outside. It's really going to challenge the eyes of the Bears defenders. They're going to have to be very, very good with that during the course of the game because of the movement and the misdirection that Green Bay uses in the run game.
The real question coming into this game was how much are you going to see of Josh Jacobs? How much will you see of Christian Watson? Knowing that the difference for the Packers today is the potential 6th seed versus the 7th seed. Second carry for Jacobs. You're going to pick up a 2. For this Bears defense, they're certainly interested in what they can do with Josh Jacobs, but this unit has really struggled, especially over the last month.
It's just been such a challenging season for Chicago, and they've been so close on so many different occasions. You just wonder if that bucket is empty right now. And over the last month, just to see the drop-off, you know, after those heartbreaking divisional losses in consecutive weeks, it's been hard to get this group performing back at the level they had expectations for entering the season.
Second down and 9 for Green Bay. Melton in motion.
Love looking underneath to Jacobs, and it'll be a 3rd down.
Pick up a 2, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And you were talking about that Bears defense, Daryl, and Eric Washington, the defensive coordinator, who's taken over that role when Matt Eberflus was let go. That's a difficult position to be in. It's not like that's his defense that he's installed.
Exactly, and it's just one of those dominoes that starts to tip when you make that change and you elevate Thomas Brown up. Now you brought Chris Beatty into the offensive coordinator position as an interim, and now Coach Washington is there taking over the defense. So that one domino falls, but there's a lot of other changes for the Bears organization.
And rush on
3rd and 7.
Trying to buy some time on the run. Throws it at the feet of Tucker
And a 4th down. Wow.
Bring up 4th down.
Okay, defense. Okay, defense.
The big things here this afternoon is going to have to be the pairing of the rush and the coverage. And Jordan Love had time there. So let's give that one to the back end. A nice job in coverage. Nowhere for Jordan Love to go with that football.
Bears get to stop. Daniel Whelan on to punt with Josh Blackwell back deep.
Oh my goodness.
There was no rush, and Whelan able to get off a punt. Fortunate for the Packers, they averted a little early trouble as Whelan gathers himself and punts it to the 30-yard line. The high snap, and the 6'5" Daniel Whelan able to gather and get rid of it for Green Bay.
When I was younger, my calling was to play football. But as I grew older, I grew wiser.
I only have 7 minutes left on this preview.
It's about how many people you can lift up. At Ram, our calling is to build game-changing trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Chat. I'm impressed with our defensive start there. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. My goat, Mitchell Trubisky, chat. Joe Mixon. Trey Lance going off. He's cooking. That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. I'm putting the game up right now. Hey, good for Trey Lance, though. It's about his time.
A 35-yard punt in that scenario looks pretty good to Green Bay. And now Caleb Williams and the Bears from their own 30-yard.
All right, Caleb in the gun. Odunze in motion. In a bad snap already. And he's going to get sacked already.
Remember, coldest game Caleb Williams has ever played in. Hands get cold. Ball comes back hard right through the hands.
How about that back-to-back, a couple of high snaps. It looks like Caleb Williams looks it all the way, gets on him quick, but then another nice hop, your composure. But unfortunately, in that situation, Rashawn Gary won very quick at the line of scrimmage.
68th sack allowed by the Bears this season.
A screen to commit! What is that? What are you doing?
Immediately to bury the Bears tight end.
It's one of the areas that they've got to get a little bit better at. You know, if you're going to run these quick screens, you got to be a good blocker. You know, don't go upfield when your defender hasn't backtracked. Push yourself.
What are you doing? That's unbelievable. What in the Luke Getzey ass fucking bullshit is that? What is that? 3rd and 21. Fucking why? Oh my God! And a screen to Roschon that's gonna get a yard. Holy shit! That's insane.
And their 11th 3 and out in 17 opening drives this season.
Unbelievable to have that consistency during the course of the year where you cannot get anything started from a positive perspective.
I can't wait for this fucking dumpster fire of a fucking team to be over with. Jesus.
To try and get to that #1 in takeaways across the league. You talk about getting to the ball and hustling to the ball. That was impressive on that opening series. How quick they are moving to the football.
Corey Taylor to punt it away. And a line drive punt, driving Jaden Reed back to the 25-yard line. Reed dancing around to the 35 and down near the 40. Scott Daly, the long snapper, with the tackle. Coming up, Jordan Love returns to the field, his second possession.
Forcing turnovers like that, this defense will become elite when they start to do that.
That's something that Dan Quinn did here in Dallas often. This has been a familiar sight. Brandon Aubrey has attempted more field goals than
You guys end 8 and 9. It's just gonna be the most Dallas Cowboys season ever. Oh yeah, Mitchell Trubisky's playing. Let me get that game going as well. I need Keenan Allen to do absolute shit. Don't worry, he will. He will do absolute shit today. He's doing nothing. What does he even do? I love it. I love it. Bucky Irving. Like I need a goose egg. Maybe. If I put hard-earned money on him, then yeah. But I'm not going to. I have one today that's Bears plus 9.5 and Chiefs plus 10.5. I think that one's likely, and then another one with Bears plus 10.5. Caleb Williams 175 yards. He's at -2 already, and a Christian Watson anytime touchdown. We'll see. We'll see. Mayfield looking, throwing, passes caught to what is that? Jalen McMillan. Mac Jones. Brian Thomas Jr. Out of bounds.
Let's go back to the very first play of the game and the errant snap that Caleb Williams had slipped through his hands.
Yeah, and you mentioned that this is the coldest game that either one of these quarterbacks have played in. So you're going to try and make some adjustments. What feels comfortable, what doesn't feel comfortable. You'll see some quarterbacks sometimes put it on that opposite throwing hand, put that glove on that opposite throwing hand. Obviously right there.
Jay Glazer reporting that the Bears will interview Mike Vrabel later this week. All right.
He tried it out with several snaps.
This website's not bad. It's just 2nd and 8. Love looking to throw. Love underneath the craft. They do it the right way, which is hilarious. That's so funny.
It's just shy of midfield. And those playoff scenarios for the Pack, they know they're in, and that's the comfortable thing today. Packers win and Commanders lose. They're playing as the 6th seed. Packers lose or Commanders win, there's the 7th seed, and they go to Philadelphia to take on.
It is such a stacked NFC. There's a lot of good teams.
And Dallas with the 3-0 lead early over Washington. And off on 3rd and short with 3 tight ends out there for Green Bay, and it's a first down for Emmanuel Wilson. Tyrese Stevenson finished it off.
We touched on Josh Jacobs and how important he is in the running game and kind of that statistic, and you wonder if that was kind of what get you out there in the beginning. Surprised to see Emmanuel Wilson getting this series here to start on the 2nd possession for Green Bay.
And the question was all week long, how much would you see guys like Josh Jacobs in a game that has meaning but doesn't have the ultimate meaning? It's not a win or in, lose or out situation for Green Bay.
Oh, damn. A shit ton of snow just came in here. God damn it.
Trying to find room on the outside, good cutback to find the lane to the Bears 44.
Nice job with the cutback. And nice job by this Green Bay offensive line. And we're going to talk about Josh Jacobs and how much he means to this team. We also have to talk about those guys up front and the run blocking. One of the things you see with the good offensive lines is everybody stays on their feet. They're able to move with that defensive line and get into their gaps and their fits without going to the ground.
Team loves to run the football, over 50% run plays this year, 3rd most in the National Football League. Long ball throw, quick toss.
Incomplete.
Christian Watson, his first target since returning to the lineup today after that knee injury 2 weeks ago against New Orleans.
Knee surgery tomorrow?
When we talk about the strategy of getting ready for that playoff game next week, I really think the addition of Christian Watson to this roster and coming out here playing early is a little bit surprising to me. You know, you got a week, you can play with the week. They got a really good receiving core. There's depth there. There's an opportunity to look at other people. I know the big topic of conversation, one of the other ones is how valuable Christian Watson is, and to me that might be why we want to make sure he's as close to
3rd and 6.
next week as he can be.
Love. Incomplete.
At the feet of Chris Brooks, who just checked in. It'll bring up 4th down and 6, and the punt team comes on again for Green Bay.
You got your guys walked up in those A-gaps, showing a little bit of pressure here.
Ugh.
And that's going to make Jordan Love think at the snap, but it's just going to be the 4 down linemen that are coming. And that time they got the pressure. So we showed you earlier there was time for Jordan Love to make the throw, and it was the secondary for Chicago that held up. That time it was the front that was speeding up that clock.
Taylor to punt it away. Cleaner operation this time, trying to pin everybody deep, and it's fielded on the far sideline.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What the hell? What the fuck? What the fuck just happened?
4-yard return. His first career punt return touchdown, and the Bears take a 6-0 lead.
What the fuck?
Great job by the Bears special team.
I completely was not ready for whatever just happened.
Situations where you have to locate the football, right? As a coverage team, where is the football? Not where is the returner, but where is the football? Because you're going to think he's...
Oh, we did the classic Hester and Johnny Knox trick, but it worked. It worked.
As it's going downfield, and they have all moved over to the right side.
Let's go. That's fun.
Santos will try the extra point.
That's fucking fun. I'll take it. And Santos is perfect.
Good. A punt return touchdown for the first time for the Bears.
I love it.
2021.
I fucking love it.
Here by
That's fantastic.
This time it's Josh Blackwell at a
Okay, Richard Hightower. Okay, Richard Hightower. Oh, that reminded me so much of the Johnny Knox Hester one. But that one got a flag called on it, and it was such a good play, too. Oh, Johnny Knox. Or was it Johnny Knox? Yeah, it was Johnny Knox. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look at it later. But Fuck. Hey, I'll take it, dude. I have no expectations for this team. I don't give a shit about this team. Most of the players on this team are utter trash. So, yeah, I don't care. But that was fun. So, apparently, DJ Moore served as a decoy. And Josh Blackwell took it for 94 yards for a touchdown. Blackwell, a convoy block. That was executed greatly. That was incredible. Legit incredible. That was a very, very, like, maybe the Bears played, like if you want to talk about just pure everybody doing their job, following their assignments, it worked. Something worked for once. Okay, so the Cowboys are winning. That's hilarious. Classic 8-9. Oh yeah, I got a new ashtray for Christmas. Oh god. I had a late Christmas last night. But thank you to Reagan for giving me this. This is an awesome ashtray. Look at this. Dude, this shit's cool. I think it's time to finally use it and put my roaches in here. And it has like a little spot in the middle where I can just kind of set my roaches. That's fire. Why do we play so good when it comes to ruining our draft position? Yep, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly how you feel. The only time it was done right was last year and the year before. But not even. We could have gotten a better draft position last year if we didn't fucking just beat random teams like the Falcons last year. The We Want Fields. Fucking corny ass shit. At the time, I thought it was like, yeah, but.
To get that touchdown on the board for Chicago.
Great sell job, because the one thing DJ Moore can't do backed up inside his 10 is signal fair catch. And Rich Bisaccia just has to be so frustrated because...
Yeah, his special teams right now for Green Bay is pretty rough.
On something basic where all you need to do is the punt coverage team...
Colin Johnson.
Play today's Fox Super 6 free-to-play game. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter a chance to win your share
Ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-ba.
weekly cash prizes.
Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba. Rich Bisaccia is...
That's after the most recent kickoff. He's still not elated with what he's
yeah, their special teams is fucking rough right now. They had the fucking botched snap on the punt. Giving that up. Get there, Daryl! There's Dontavian Wicks.
out near the 44-yard line. 15-yard pickup as the Packers hustle up to the line. We were talking with Matt LaFleur. He said, I just want to play clean. I thought last week was really sloppy. As sloppy as it was and as slow as we started, I just want us to play a clean and a mistake-free game. He said, I have a higher standard for our guys.
Yeah, and that's simply what it is. It's not just being sloppy. It's you can improve, but he's got a standard that he wants these guys to play at.
First and 10. Oh.
It was Jonathan Ford who came across. Was he drawn off by movement on the Packers front?
It's going to be on us.
Was Ford.
And one of the things in this Packer offense, I remember talking to Aaron Rodgers about it, is just how many different cadences they have. And, the inflection, and just when a young quarterback really buys into that.
So now with the 1st and 5, not only is Jordan Love still in, he goes out to the top. It's Malik Willis.
Malik Willis in the game.
So you have Willis in with Love to the top.
Oh, boy.
And it'll be Willis who keeps it.
Huh.
The ball into Bears territory down to the 48-yard line.
I need a tray bomb for my mental health.
This season. Was Jordan Love going to be a blocker? Let's find out.
He's stalking him. He's stalking him. All right.
It was
It's one of the
Willis.
other things you do, in this situation, right? Let's put some things up there on film and make
Willis is out now. Josh Jacobs is now back in. 2nd and 2. Yeah, I don't know. You probably shouldn't have. Hand off to Jacobs. Never mind. There's another good run. Decent run.
To the 42-yard line. Looking for clean play all day from that Packer team, Laura.
That's why I think Hamilton was surprised when I did ask him how long we could see the starters today. Because he was like, we're playing to win this game. And he went back to,
We play to win the game.
We do not have a lot of time. We don't even know how many practices we're going to get as we go into the playoffs. His message was, we have to maximize the time we have. That's this game, that's practice, that's everything.
And you don't know. Are you playing Saturday or are you playing Sunday or are you playing Monday? All are possibilities when the season schedule comes out late tonight.
Love. Has time. Airs it out. Pass is caught. Touch him.
Grab at the 23 by Luke Musgrave. And a first down for Green Bay, picking up 19. They'll hustle up to the line, and now they're going to roll it incomplete.
What?
No need to hustle. After expedited review, the pass is incomplete.
That's a catch.
I don't know. I really think that he gets his hands underneath that, hands and arms underneath. I never saw that hit.
That's a catch. That's a catch. What the hell?
They rule it incomplete. They back it up.
But let's see from this angle. Are we not seeing it correctly? I mean, it really looks like it gets all the way in. I think it's a heck of a job by Luke Musgrave.
Yeah, that's a catch.
Hold to the body. That's a catch. Matt LaFleur's got to throw that flag. He's got it out. He's got it in his hand. He's waiting for some information. There he goes.
And that was more of a disgusted spike. Not necessarily a throw by the former quarterback at Saginaw Valley State.
Yeah, we're not. It was kind of that. All right, we've got replay assist right now. I'm going to drop this flag on the ground. But
Why are we wasting time with this? It's obviously a catch.
I mean, he's got a better arm than he showed on the challenge flag throw, but you can understand why.
Why are we wasting time with that? Oh, Adam Hogue just tweeted out about the Johnny Knox, Devin Hester one. That one didn't work. This one did. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get a Roma Dunze or Caleb Williams anytime touchdown. I don't think that's going to happen. Honestly. The internet was geeking there for a second. Ooh, Tyreek Stevenson.
Tyreek Stevenson with a big-time hit.
Yeah, that shit is, I didn't see what happened.
Because it's going to be the end around, and Tyreek Stevenson, he was in.
Good shit, Tyreek. You actually do something, you bum!
Bo Melton all the way across the field and does a great job. And that's one of the areas where he's really started to grow this year. When he goes back to the Hail Mary and the mistake there, they sat him down. He's earned his right to get back into that starting lineup and get more snaps. And one of the big things that has done that is his.
What it's like that, I don't... Normal. Oh! Tyreek!
Again, there are no flags, and it's 3rd and 9. So no yellow flags on that play, but we mentioned the challenge by LaFleur. He's looking at it going, that's a catch. What am I doing? I have to use this flag? Why do I have to challenge this? Like, fine. I'm going to challenge it. Watch. I'm going to challenge it. There it is.
Disgusting. A disgusting challenge.
Yeah, that's a pretty stupid one. That one makes no sense.
Well, he had all the proof on the jumbotron.
3rd and 9. Empty set, Love looking, pass, screen to Kraft. Bring him down, Kevin Byard there. Everybody getting there, good job, D.
Who has the 3rd most tackles of all defensive backs in the National Football League, there to finish it off short of the first down of the field goal unit coming on for Green Bay.
It's been a frustrating couple of weeks for Matt LaFleur and the officials. You go back to the Edgerrin Cooper last week against Minnesota, neutral zone infraction on the field goal attempt.
This is a weird start for Green Bay. A weird start.
Just kind of a continuation where these calls are going against him. He's getting frustrated.
37-yard try, Brandon McManus, since he got the Green Bay roster in mid-October this year, has been a revelation for the Packers. He's only missed 1 kick, extra points, and field goals combined, and he's good from 37 to get the Packers on the board in this great NFL rivalry.
Okay. Next gen stats about Josh Blackwell's return. Blackwell filled the punt from a right corner alignment, traveling 138 yards from snap to score, the most distance traveled by a ball carrier on a TD since Week 4 of 2019. Bashad Breeland on a 100-yard fumble TD, 141 yards from snap to score. So that's cool. Special teams, baby. Special teams. Oh my god. I almost got by some fucking bait, like Bears bait. Somebody was like, GM Ryan Poles on ESPN 1000 pregame on a potential Ben Johnson hire. And somebody made up a quote saying he's a brilliant play caller, but at the end of the day, we need a leader of men. If he legit actually said that, holy fuck. But obviously he didn't. Oh, the Golden Globes are later. I don't care. What? Jay Glazer apparently said multiple teams have interest in possibly attempting to trade for Kevin O'Connell, who will be in the final year of his contract next year and has no extension talks. Yeah, that's hilarious. What? That's not happening. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Virginia McCaskey. You know, it'd be cool if they gave her a win. She's probably going to die this year.
Lambeau Field, the 210th all-time meeting. Packers have 108 wins, most games played in any NFL series. I cannot tell you how much I love the old logos. And the Packers have loved this series of late. They have dominated, including on November 17th when they won 20-19, blocking Cairo Santos' field goal. Packers won 11 in a row against Chicago. The Bears have the 7th.
Matt LaFleur has never lost a game against Chicago. That's probably something he should mention.
Right? How can this be a meaningless game? When you look at the history of this rivalry, the 208th meeting, those black and white photos going back to those games, I mean, that is awesome.
On the bounce. Oh, and then almost a knee. Didn't get the knee down. Tyler Scott. Fortunate that that knee didn't raise grace, and then the ball pops out at the end of the play. And it's covered.
What in the world?
Let's take a look, right? So you can take a knee in there, but you don't want to take a knee right there.
Wow. Did that knee get down on the grass? That is awfully close. They were out with the mowers before the game. There was some frosted snow on the field. They just mowed. If they hadn't mowed, the grass may have been tall enough to graze the knee of Tyler Scott. And now Matt LaFleur has the challenge flag again in his hand. Is he going to challenge again? He said, look, what is that? Did he touch his knee? Point at the big screen here at Lambeau Field. Keep the flag in his pocket for the moment. And the Bears are going to hurry up and snap it. He's got the flag.
That's so close.
Is he going to throw it? Nope. He shoved it back in his pocket. And he must have decided it didn't quite hit the knee.
Chat.
First down.
Dude.
Good penetration on the fourth man from Florida. Let's go back to Mike Pereira, the third member of our booth today from our Fox studios in Los Angeles, to talk about that last one, Mike.
Yeah, we saw Ivan with oops, like what did he do? But again, he did an oops, but he's not down by contact. So they're really not going to go to the give himself up situation here. But as long as he doesn't stay down for a length of time, he's not down by contact, he can get up and move on.
Yeah.
Boy. Almost a big oops. Second and 14, play clock at 1, play clock at 0 as he gets the snap. Williams pressured, Chase throws on the run, and he threw it away. Lucas Van Ness was hot on his heels, looking for the second sack of the day for the Green Bay.
This offense and their slow ass starts, bro.
This offensive line, there was conversations about it, you know, are his eyes starting to drop down and looking at the pass rush? Because there's been so much flux and change in this offensive line, and it's the one group that has to build their camaraderie and their chemistry throughout the course of the year. And the good teams have consistency in that starting five. The Bears have had anything but. And it's starting to
27 combinations, most in the NFL. Third and 14. Williams looking, pressure, screen to Roschon. Oh! But doesn't matter.
He hopped over Keyshawn Nixon, short of the first down, and it's fourth down in Green Bay. Time for our first game break of the afternoon. We check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks so much, Kevin. So Bills down 7 to the Patriots.
Mitchell Trubisky.
A name familiar to that Chicago audience, in for Josh Allen as the Bills are resting their starters. Trubisky hits Ray Davis for the score. We are all tied up at 7. Kev?
The once future of the Bears quarterbacking the Bills today as they close out their regular season. And a movement up front, number 4th and 7. We'll see.
Fuck!
Scott Daly, long snapper with the false start.
Chat, I'm so confused where I put my shit. I think I put it over here.
And the ball in his hands, moving early.
Where did I...
Corey Taylor, who is
I had...
breaking the single season punt average record since 1949 by the Bears, lining up to punt this away. Down to 12. Center of the NFL Foundation have donated $1 million to support relief efforts for the victims of the New Orleans tragedy. To learn more, go to www.gnof.org. Now first down at 10 could be the final play of the quarter coming up here. First down and 10. Josh Jacobs in the backfield. And the motion man, Jaden Reed, gets the carry.
Ball! Oh!
And Owens takes it inside the Green Bay 20. Tremaine Edmonds knocked it out. Owens scooped it up.
Is this going to be like a classic Bears-Packers game where the Bears offense does nothing and our defense just is...
It's amazing to me how good everybody is across the board in the NFL at the punch. It all originated with Chicago and
Charles Tillman, baby.
Just a great job by Jalen Johnson. He's just standing off to the side and boom. Watch
Boom! Oh, that's beautiful.
hand-to-eye coordination to get these balls.
God, that's so good.
Jalen Johnson, the only Pro Bowler for the Bears this year with the punch-out. First down and 10. Odunze in motion.
Williams, handoff to Swift.
DeAndre Swift with the carry. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter here at Lambeau. Caleb Williams and Jordan Love. Blackwell with the punt return. And a Bears fan having fun. That's a rare sight.
Okay, Kevin. Okay, Kevin.
By checking Allstate first.
Who's ready for my famous charred duck?
Like, you know, to check the mascot first before bringing food to a tailgate. So check Allstate first for a quote that can save you hundreds.
Different dogs have different needs, like skin and coat, mobility support, and healthy digestion. That's why Heinz Advanced Health has different formulas, so every dog can be a healthy dog.
Fox College Hoops Friday. Lights up prime time. As UCLA takes on Maryland. Fox College Hoops Friday tips off at 8 Eastern.
Who wants to meet the cutest guy in the world? Tell us to a baby kangaroo.
Don't let the fur fool you.
Do you need a mental health day?
It's the wildest season of
I hate putting on necklaces sometimes. Shit gets annoying.
I'm in my truck. I'm sitting down.
And you can watch it anytime.
Round up every mutt, every stray, every gutter hound you can find.
It's this kind of energy that makes us the bad guys in talking animal movies.
Animal Control. All new Thursdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Does anybody actually watch that?
Hey, welcome into breakfast, Paul. Give Americans what we want. More football. This guy is an absolute freaking unit. You think I just know more than these players do? Everyone, oh, you gotta play the game. No, you don't. That's right. Practice ball. Weekdays on FS1. Start your day with a bang. Let's have a party. As FS1's brand new lineup. We're gonna change up the vibe. Brings you everything you need.
Have some fun, old guy.
To level up your game.
Undeniably, my favorite country.
Unreal.
All day.
I'm not surprised.
Every weekday. Yeah, for sure. In one place.
The good news, the Chicago Bears, if you're a Bears fan, have a 7-3 lead. The bad news, they have negative 4 yards of total offense through one quarter. The first team to lead after the first quarter with negative total yards since the first weekend Fox did football.
Oh my God!
September 4th of 1994. Kenny Albert was on the call, by the way, for that game.
Oh my God!
Make the toss. Williams finds DJ Moore. Moore with blockers inside the 10. Tripped up at the 5. Warren saves the touchdown for the moment, but it's first and goal, Chicago.
13 on this one. He's going to go up and do a really nice job on Carrington Valentine. Really good positioning, moves his feet, doesn't hold. So a good job there. So that's what you have to have.
Yep, good job, Rome. Good job, baby. Caleb Williams, anytime touchdown. Let's go.
Looking on, hoping that defense can hold the Bears to a field goal after he coughed it up. First and goal.
Swift.
Handoff up the middle, and it's DeAndre Swift into the end zone for his first touchdown since week 11.
Yeah, really good job inside right here. The duo concept, right? You're going to double the down man, TJ Slayton. Just push him back into that second level. Come off, get Eric Wilson. And that gives DeAndre Swift enough room to get into the end zone.
The Bears, who had been outscored in the first quarter of the last 5 games, led after one, increased the lead to start the second, and Santos, with the extra point, makes it 14-3 Chicago. 14-17 to go in the first half, and the Bears lead on the road in Green Bay. And now these messages.
These are tough conditions. Case is going to bench the drive.
They got it.
Yeah, about time.
I should have done a Swift anytime. That's tough. So that's tough. It's normally a lock. But Bears plus 9.5 might be a lock, though. Oh. Oops.
Hey, but this is not what he was looking for to start the day.
You couldn't have a worse start. They started off slow against the top tier, but against everybody else, they come out and they have a great start to the game. And this has been a disaster, especially when your head coach all week long has a single message of let's play a clean game. Let's go out and not beat ourselves, not give our opponents opportunities.
Keyshawn Nixon got a gaping hole, trying to bounce to the outside, and Nixon returns it to the 38-yard line. This was the get-right game, or at least you were hoping that if you're a Green Bay fan, and they've been doing it lately. Dominance against the Bears, 11 consecutive wins, the longest active series win streak in the National Football League since January of 2011. 26-3 record against the Chicago Bears. Head-to-head since 1992. Packers have had 4 starting quarterbacks. The Bears 21. 51 wins to 15 wins in that span. But today a 14-3 lead.
Love.
Love on play action, wants a deep shot, checks it down, and it's caught in Chicago territory by Dontavian Wicks. And there's an injured Packer down at the 47-yard line. And it's Christian Watson.
Well, there goes that.
He suffered the knee injury against the Saints, was out last week.
Cashing out at $2.19 right now. No. $2.19. No. $2.19. No. Da-da-na-na-na. Tragic.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Wow, where has this been my entire life? Having to clean with multiple products is a hassle. With Magic Eraser, I use it on everyday messes. I even use it on things that I think are impossible to clean. You need Mr. Clean Magic Eraser in your life.
The 50, the 40, the 25. Yep, Invisible Wireless is just $25 electric Prologue generous passenger space for ultimate comfort, as well as the confidence of a nationwide dealer network. And, according to Car and Driver, it has a more refined driving experience than the Tesla Model Y. With the Prologue SUV, we've made it easy to go electric.
Chat, on Netflix.
Today at your local Honda dealer.
It's going to be peak.
Oh my God. Oh. Kitchen Nightmares Road to Super Bowl 59 premieres this Tuesday on Fox.
I love me some Kitchen Nightmares.
Christian Watson, who's got that brace on the left knee, grabbed his right knee in that non-contact injury. It's an encouraging sign, Daryl, to see him up and walking into the tent.
Absolutely. When you see non-contacts, a lot of times that's a card scenario. They're usually very serious injuries. So great to see Christian Watson be able to kind of walk off with a little bit of help. And the crazy thing is, right, like you said, it's the opposite knee.
First down and 10, the Packers regroup.
Love looking. Has time. Airs it out. Pass is incomplete.
And he's fortunate that wasn't intercepted. There were 3 Bears with Johnson and Edmonds.
Why is Love throwing that? Why is he throwing that? I mean, that's what he does. He does that. A lot of Love's game is based off of luck. I'm going to be completely honest.
He got away from both people that were helping him and was able to walk by himself into it. I did ask Matt LaFleur before the game, is there a pitch count with Christian? And he said, no pitch count. He said, but we do just want to be careful with him and smart with him. So, this is just so frustrating on so many levels, but I'll give you an injury report as soon as I get back.
All right, sounds good.
Love handoff to Jacobs, who gets a first down.
Driving to the 35. What did Matt LaFleur tell us, Daryl? He's the heartbeat of our team, and you can see that is a strong heartbeat.
Yeah, and I don't know why you just don't keep going back to it. Really nice job by Tucker Kraft as the lead guy up into the hole there with the key block.
Quick snap, Watt is in trouble, tries to dump it off to Jacobs. Jacobs plucks it off the turf, and Jacobs making something out of nothing down to the 28-yard line.
Why?
Austin Booker, the rookie from Kansas, all over Jordan Love, and it ends up a gain of 7. And Love's pointing at his right hand, shaking it off a little bit.
It's one of those situations where you try to tell a quarterback when that play is over, and there's the positive side. Jordan Love just continuing to work to try and save that play, is able to get it to Josh Jacobs, but let's watch that throwing hand.
There are flags down on the field, too, well after the play, deep in the secondary. As Jordan Love gets his throwing hand tended to. The last 2 minutes have been as negative as they can be for the Green Bay offense, despite the fact that they're moving the football.
Well, I wouldn't even say the last 2 minutes. I'll say the entire game. I mean,
all the defense at the top of the snap. I'm going to quickly at the previous spot. Second down.
What?
You start the game, and you're 3 and out, and then you have a high snap. Daniel Whelan saves the day with a great job on being able to get that ball off. And then you stop your opponent, and you allow them on a punt return to get a touchdown. So really there's been nothing positive so far today. And then Christian Watson going down with an injury. Here comes, your backup quarterback, Malik Willis is coming into the lineup, and it looks like that injury to Jordan Love is on the throwing hand. I mean, nothing has gone right for Green Bay here this afternoon. And you come out with the expectations of playing.
The football gods, can you please just give us a win? First and 5. Willis, handoff to Jacobs.
Jacobs up the middle, first down. Look at Jordan Love. It was to the throwing hand with all that pressure around him.
times when you see that type of injury, it's as the ball comes off the hand and hits the helmet. But you didn't see anything on that replay.
Quick sidearm toss out to the tight end and out of bounds inside the 15 and the 13-yard line. There's a flag down on the near side at the 20-yard line.
Eligible player downfield on a fourth pass. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, first down.
There goes Christian Watson off to the locker room. It's not a sight that any Packer fan wants to see going into the playoffs next week. They're working on, there's going to be the elbow now of Jordan Love. He was shaking out his hand, but maybe it's something that radiated down from the elbow, and maybe it's the helmet of Austin Booker.
Maybe you know when you hit the funny bone and it runs down your hand?
Willis looking underneath, nowhere to go.
Kind of get that feeling off, but it was actually, you know, the contact he made with the elbow that hits that nerve that sends that pain down the hand.
You hope it's something as simple as a funny bone that got irritated and can be taken care of. Jordan Love watches Malik Willis work now on the field. With a second down and 15 for Green Bay, trailing 14-3 early second quarter. Willis looking for Kraft, and he leaps up to make the catch. Tucker Kraft going up tall at the 9, and it's first and goal, Packers.
Just coming out of that traditional tight end spot. It's an out and up to seam. That's good coverage. That's a heck of a throw. And we watched Malik Willis grow through his 2 starts earlier this season when it was a heavy run offense the first game.
And Jacobs, heavy on the ground, diving for the goal line and the touchdown. Oh, that kind of a heavy run offense.
And that's what you had to do, right? You're not going to be able to give Malik Willis a ton of the offense to get that first start after Jordan Love got hurt. So you lean on the run game. But then that next start, you can't do that again. So you expand what the game plan is going to be. And you introduce some play action and some other things. But, you know, you're watching the game last week, and it was one of the things that Tom Brady talked about. You know, Green Bay really refined and learned how to embrace that run game. While Malik Willis was the starter and it continued to grow, this is going to be interesting to watch here through the course of the game now.
Extra point, up and good. Josh Jacobs, his 8th straight game with a rushing touchdown. Paul Hornung's record goes down on this run from Josh Jacobs, and a great Lambeau leap to bring the Packers within 4.
It was bound to happen at any point in time. Monsters around you. Oh, it's just such a good piece of music, bro. I cannot stop listening to it. It is so addicting. It is so addicting.
On Fox. Were you interested in that UCLA press? Our producer Eric Billickmeyer and director Greg Scoptoni, both wonderful people. Both are UCLA products. I may or may not have gone to the University of Nebraska. There's not a lot of basketball lore to celebrate with the Big Red. You know, the big thing with the Lambeau leap, I think for Simone Biles, I don't think it's the leap. I think it's the fact that Jonathan Owens completely missed the landing. He didn't stick the landing. That was the frustrating. And I get the perfect 10 on that. About 10 points shy of the perfect 10. DeAndre Swift zigzags his way to the 26-yard line. Alana Ladapo there with the tackle for Green Bay. Well, you couldn't have orchestrated a better start for Chicago, and now that Green Bay has kind of gotten a little bit of that swagger back here, this is going to be an important series. And can they match the emotion here that this Packer defense has started the game? And not a bad start to go with DeAndre Swift on the ground for back-to-back carries, get a first down, calm things down a little bit. Coming into this drive, the Bears had 14 points and 15 total yards. The big thing with DeAndre Swift is, to me, he's been your most consistent player on the offense over the last 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, every time you turn on the film, you know, he's making plays in
First and
the
10.
pass game and the screen game.
Komet in motion. Caleb, another handoff to Swift.
Sweeps to the edge with blockers.
Nice.
DeAndre Swift with another first down out near the 45-yard line. Borum leading the way, a 14-yard run for DeAndre Swift, moved the chains again. He's just got such a great skill set to do so many different things, and you can see the heavy lineup there with everybody to the left side. It creates really good blocking angles. And then if you can get DeAndre Swift onto that corner, and again, it's getting your wide receivers to buy in. You saw 15, Roma Dunze again with a nice block. One of the key guys at that point of attack to get DeAndre Swift around that corner. First down and 10, just shy of the 45. Williams for the Pistols, Swift once more, and Swift stood up at the 46-yard line. Valentine and Gary on the stop, and an update on Jordan Love and Christian Watson with Lauren.
What a horrible drive to give you updates on both of them. Christian Watson is questionable with a knee injury. Jordan Love is also questionable with that right elbow. They put a brace over his arm, and also he's been squeezing the ball just to kind of keep moving that hand. But the most interesting is Matt LaFleur coming over. You see he's sitting next to Malik, and Matt is just addressing Malik. So there's a good chance that will be the last we see of Jordan.
Terrible news if you're a Green Bay Packer fan or if you're an NFL fan wanting to watch the best in the game in the postseason. You hope for the best that Jordan Love, if he doesn't come back in this game, can at least make a return for next week when the postseason begins. Absolutely, and that's the risk. You know, when you get into these situations, and there'll be a lot of second guessing, but you cannot go into the game playing with the thought that somebody could be injured. And unfortunately, injuries are part of the game of football. But there's going to be a lot of chatter depending
I predict a sack.
and how serious that injury is for Jordan Love. Third down and 6. DJ Moore and the Packers read that beautifully. Keyshawn Nixon all over that play. Not a chance for Moore. Really good job. Just recognizing everything on the outside again. And it's just, you're going to come through, you're going to blow through that, you're going to try and blow everything up, but they're doing a really good job on the perimeter. That was a numbers situation. You wonder why there wasn't an alternative to that play, because I really felt the way that they came out with the pre-snap look, that play was going to have trouble being a positive snap for Chicago. Fourth and 8, Taylor to punt. Jaden Reed back deep. Reed will watch it sail over his head, skip into the end zone for the touchback. 7:25 remaining in the first half. Bears with a 14-10 lead. Packers back to work at Lambeau next.
Here we are. Welcome home. I've been really looking forward to your summer out here. You're gonna have fun. Did you guys know that and Cece's uncle was one of the kids who went missing in 1994?
That story gave me nightmares when I was younger.
That's not good.
touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires. Randall gives you wings. Is that TV so real one?
Each spring, the roughneck begins his charge anew. But the road home is fraught with danger at every step.
Most popular place in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in front of the heaters on the sideline. Pick a number. Who's next? Serving number 8 in front of the heater. It's a slippery slope, though, because once you get over there and you get warm, it's really hard to pry yourself away from that heater and get back onto the field. I tried to stay off the heated benches, and every once in a while you just want to get a little bit of warm, but you don't want to get comfortable. Here's Emmanuel Wilson. Malik Willis is indeed in at quarterback again. If you're joining us late, Jordan Love is questionable to return for Laurel with an elbow injury. Christian Watson also questionable to return with a knee injury. So Malik Willis may go the rest of the way in this one. We don't know. You see Jordan Love holding the football, squeezing out, flexing his right hand. Washington and Dallas. Remember, Green Bay win, Washington lose, and Green Bay is the number 6 seed, sending Washington to a date with the Eagles in Philadelphia. Toss play as Wilson reverses his field and finds a first down. It's a good run by Emmanuel Wilson, who's going to end up this season with above 450 yards of rushing.
Yeah, and you wonder right now, with what happened to Christian Watson, what's happened to Jordan Love, and the other piece that's critical for the Packers moving forward is Josh Jacobs. And do you, in a run-heavy offense, probably now with Malik Willis and as your quarterback, go with Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks the rest of the way? And listen, you know what? I've got 2 guys that are key that are down already. I'm not losing my top 3.
Back it goes to Wilson. Patient run to get maybe 2 out to the 33. Jonathan Ford with the tackle. For Josh Jacobs, who today 6 carries, 44 yards. You see 5th in the league in rushing yards, 6th in scrimmage yards, 2nd in rushing touchdowns. The offense just looks different when he's in there and working at the highest of efficiencies.
And if you want to get away from those slow starts against the top-tier teams, that's one of the biggest ways you're going to do it. Being able to lean on him at the start of the game and let that offensive line just come off the ball in the run game.
2nd and 8. Willis to the air, and he skipped that one in front of Malik Heath.
But Kevin, you and I, we had that transition from that first start against Indianapolis to that second start at Tennessee. And the growth that we saw and the confidence that Matt LaFleur had in Malik Willis was really impressive. He played a heck of a game against Tennessee because there's no way they were going to be able to lean on the run the way they did in that first start. So there's been growth for Malik Willis in this offense, you know, through the course of the season. I think you're very comfortable with him to finish this game.
3rd and 8. Willis, Bears bring the pressure. Willis, deep ball. Wow. Jeez. Jeez.
Dexter provided the pressure on Willis. 31 yards later, a first down.
Yeah, just a really good job of keeping your eyes on the football. Jalen Johnson loses the football, and Jaden Reed does it. He's able to adjust to that hit on Malik Willis that caused it to be short.
And now the handoff to Chris Brooks. Will work his way forward.
Look at the late hands too. He's tracking, but he doesn't panic. He doesn't give Jalen Johnson any indication, and he's able to fight through and make that catch. That's a great adjustment to an underthrown ball down the field.
A lot like he has to do sometimes on a punt, tracking a wobbler off the foot of a punter.
Great point.
Second and 5. Brooks again. Big hole. Brooks into the secondary and inside the 20 as the Packers get into the red zone with another run up the middle. Chris Brooks picks up 14.
Yeah, great job by Josh Myers. Watch your center. That's the key block here. Gets the turn right there. And then that's easy. I mean, Sean Ryan is able to climb right to that second level and get the linebacker because Josh Myers does such a great job on the down man.
On 1st and 10, Brooks once more. And not much this time. Bears shut that one down, but we open up an opportunity for Carissa Thompson to give us a game break.
Thanks so much, Kev. Appreciate it. Panthers Falcons tied at 10. Bryce Young dropped in the bucket to Miles Sanders for a 33-yard score. Panthers up 17-10 in that one. A quick update from Tampa. Saints trying to play spoiler there. They're up 13-6 on the Bucs. Kev.
Boy, chaos reigning in the NFC South.
How about Bryce Young? You know, getting benched early in the season, having to sit down, learn that lesson, getting a second opportunity this year, and really doing a nice job taking advantage.
Pitch to Jaden Reed and well defended by Kevin Byard. To your point, Dave Canales has done a really nice job getting Bryce Young back in there. Sometimes that's hard to do. You bench a young quarterback to get him back on the right track. Kudos to that coaching staff for getting him on the right path again.
Absolutely. And I think the reason that Dave Canales has that job in Carolina is the job that he did with Baker Mayfield last year in Tampa Bay, who's probably got a lot of issues there with confidence and different things and able to get him turned around and pointed in the right direction.
3rd down and 9 for Green Bay. Willis slings it sidearm over the middle. It's short of the first down to the Bears' 12-yard line, and will bring up 4th down for Green Bay. And they wind down to the 2-minute warning before this 4th down play. Will the Packers go? Will they try the field goal? The offense stays on the field for the moment, but they don't have to do anything before the 2-minute warning. And we have reached the aforementioned 2-minute warning. 14-10, Chicago leading Green Bay. The Packers knocking on the door with a decision when we return. watching the Bears and Packers. 30-yard field goal try for Brandon McManus as the decision made during the timeout to put 3 on the board, or at least try to. And McManus is good once again. 14-13. The Packers creep within 1 with a minute 57 remaining in the first half. So a 1-point game here at Lambeau Field. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Coming up on the Verizon halftime, it's a full house. Terry, Howie, Michael, Jimmy, and Brock are here with the highlights. Plus, we'll check in on the Falcons as they try to keep their NFC South hopes alive. And the number 1 draft pick is still up for grabs. We'll see you at the half.
Looking forward to it, Kurt. They're still taking a look and talking to Jordan Love after that injury knocked him out of the game. He has not returned since. Left the game in the second quarter earlier this quarter with the elbow injury. Tested his grip, it looks like. How are you feeling? Can you squeeze?
Yeah, exactly. Because when it first happened, when it was on the ground, it all looked like it was his hand.
Right, the way he was shaking it out.
Yeah, and then they get to the sideline, and they move to the elbow, and you see the replay, and it's that arm coming forward and hitting the helmet.
I want to play.
It's nerve-related.
But hopefully not long-term, because every Packers fan right now across the state of Wisconsin and elsewhere is saying, can you squeeze the football next week? Can you play next week? Regardless of where Green Bay is playing, will they play with their quarterback, Jordan Love? Here's Tyler Scott on the run at the 10-yard line. Scott,
Woo!
1 tackle across the 30. Scott across the 40, and he's out of bounds.
There you go, Tyler. Out of Scott, baby.
So there's been a lot of chaos today, especially in special teams. The decoy, and it's Blackwell who ends up with the 94-yard punt return for a touchdown. Rich Bisaccia says, what are we doing? But then the punch out. Next drive, Watson goes down. Questionable to return with a knee injury. Same drive. Couple plays later, Jordan Love, elbow injury. He goes down and has not played since. And now Chicago at the 45-yard line goes to work with a draw play to DeAndre Swift and an ankle tackle by Lucas Van Ness after a 3-yard gain.
Not the clean type of game that Matt LaFleur was hoping for from his Green Bay Packers here in the first half. But, you know, the resiliency, the defense has done a nice job here today. And they're going to have to be the group that's going to have to really stand up here the rest of the game.
2nd and 7, Caleb Williams flushed out, throws off the hand of DeAndre Swift. And it'll bring up 3rd and 7. Clock stops on the incompletion. There's Jordan Love, good sign. Out there testing that hand, testing that grip. Do we see Jordan Love for at least one more series to home the seas of Packer Nation?
I think you got plenty of time. You can win at halftime. You can sit down. You can have those conversations. The entire staff is busy managing the game here as it continues to wind down to the end of the first half. To me, I'd come back and you come out with Lee Willis again and just give him as much time as he needs.
Sick throw by Caleb Williams. Fits it into Keenan Allen for a Chicago first down at the 44. And it's throws like that, Darryl, that have people excited about the potential of Caleb Williams.
The arm talent was never a question for Caleb Williams. And it's the other areas that he's going to attack. He's going to grow into in year 2. But there's been some throws this season that are absolutely remarkable for a rookie quarterback.
2nd down and 6. Out of bounds, stops the clock with 50 seconds to go. Bears have all 3 timeouts as they try to put points on the board before halftime. Remember, Green Bay won the toss, and as Matt LaFleur likes to do, they took the football. So it's going to be Chicago ball to start the second half. Receivers to the bottom of your screen. And a flag with movement.
Ball start. Offense. Number 58. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
projected offensive line starter that came out of camp as a starter, flinching on the right side.
Yeah, how about that? You go into training camp and you've got your starting five, and you've only got your right tackle left at this stage at the end of the season who was a part of that starting five going into training camp.
Braxton Jones on IR, Kevin Jenkins out again with a calf, Ryan Bates on IR, and Nate Davis was cut. Second and 11. Williams on a roll. And Williams, he'll just throw this one away. 42 seconds to play in the second quarter, and a third and 11 for Chicago.
Sometimes for these young quarterbacks that have that unique arm talent, this is a hard lesson to learn. You can see he wants somebody to break clean, give me an opportunity to get the ball down the field, and then just throw it away. And I think it's that thought process that he needs to speed up, of knowing when that play's over. The only thing that can happen from this point on is bad, and take that next step. It's one of the reasons why he has been sacked now 68 times this season, because a lot of those are on the shoulders of Caleb Williams.
And a timeout taken by Chicago. Daryl, some of the great throws we've seen from Caleb Williams all year, getting people inside.
Yeah, you check your protection. You got two guys in there, they're dropping. You feel comfortable with the pre-snap to post-snap transition. There's that window. You've got to go over the linebacker, in between coverage. Here's another tight fit. It's an out and up, and you've got to get it into that small zone right there. There's a small window to fit that ball. Does a great job with that throw. And this one didn't count. This was called back. You saw the flag thrown. But that might be one of his best throws, if not the best throw he's had all season. And there you go. It's on display again here this afternoon. That is not a question about Caleb Williams. It's a lot of the other intangible things about playing the quarterback position at the NFL level.
Third down and 11. Williams, pressure again, off his back foot, lobs it in the direction of Odunze, and it's out of bounds.
And I think that's one of the big things, and we've seen it on the last two plays. And when you're successful in the quarterback position, as protections break down, smaller movements, can you climb? And not always going out the back. We've seen him make a number of great throws by going out the back and getting out onto the edges, but the really effective quarterbacks that are decisive have smaller movements inside the pocket, find the ability to climb, and leave the entire field open.
Ray Taylor on to punt as the Bears drive stalls.
Woo!
Pressure up the middle, just got rid of it. Tyron Hopper in his face. Fair caught at 10 by Jaden Reed. Well, look at the Packers season. Jordan Love injured in Brazil. Malik Willis steps in, leads the Packers to a couple of wins. Their big offseason additions have had a big impact. Josh Jacobs, 5th in the league in rushing. Xavier McKinney, 2nd in the league in interceptions. The offense has picked it up over the last 6 games, 31 points per game in that span. Clinched their second consecutive wild card in the Jordan Love era, but they have struggled there against the best in the NFC.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big thing, and that's why it was so important for Matt LaFleur challenging his group to have a clean game plan. And as we pointed out, it's been anything but. Had some bad news with the injuries, but the margins when you get into the playoffs are so thin. The smallest mistakes get magnified, and they just had too many here this afternoon against the Bears.
Pitch to Chris Brooks, stacked up to the 15-yard line. Clock will continue to run, and the Packers may be content to just get this one to the locker room and, more importantly, get in and warm up a little bit at halftime. Verizon halftime's coming up. Kirk, Terry, Howie, Michael, Jimmy, and Gronk will break down everything in this final week of the regular season. A 1-point game here.
Chat, we'll be right back. I'm going to go get myself a Biv. Bev.
so far, don't lose me. It matters where you are. As the sun
Baker. Let's get it going. We got to make the playoffs. It's Spencer Rattler. Big first half, 21-28. 181 yards, play action at the goal line, finding Pettis for the touchdown. All New Orleans on the road in Tampa, 16-6. Saints on top. Carolina Panthers, Michael Penix, quarterback, rookie quarterback for Atlanta. Needs a win. The Buccaneers lost and make the playoffs. Going to the outside, power in from the outside. A 5-yard touchdown by the young man, and it's 10-all Carolina, Atlanta. Bryce Young really solid the last 7 games of the season. Beautifully thrown ball, wide open is Miles Sanders against that zone. Corner stayed up, safety was deep, big hole right there, 17-10 Carolina. Then just earlier, Michael Penix, nice ball, great concentration by Drake London. 200 yards passing in the first half for Penix. It's 24-17 now, Atlanta on top of Carolina. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders lock the 6th seed with a win. Lock it up in the playoffs, that is. Jamison Crowder fumbles the punt. C.J. Goodwin covers for Dallas. There it is. Hit from behind there. The ball pops into the hands of Crowder. This led to a Cowboy field goal. Dallas 6, Washington 3 at the half. And then the Eagles, the Giants have a Saquon Barkley resting. That's a play action. There's goal line. There's a bouncing around. Best ride football, Howie. Jerk route. Okay, Howie. Thank you, Jimmy. Nia Smith there on the 15-yarder. Big day for McKee. 17 for 27 and 190 yards for the Eagles. 10 of the Eagles on top of the Giants. That halftime.
New England needs to lose to hold on to that top pick. Should they win like they're doing right now, Tennessee would have the #1 pick, and Jacksonville down by a touchdown against the Indianapolis Colts. All right, Jimmy. Injuries are a real concern for Green Bay.
Yeah, you want to win the game. You want the highest position possible in the playoffs, but you got to go into the playoffs healthy. And with Green Bay, it's got to be a huge concern. Christian Watson goes down with a knee injury. It does not look good. They carted him off the field. And then right after that, Jordan Love, he bangs his elbow and it shakes his hand. So he's injured. I know as a coach, when we were getting ready for the playoffs, when a player went down, I started taking every key player and said, hey, you're over here with me. Let's watch the rest of the game. So I'll see Green Bay pulling out some of their key players.
I see the elbow injury. I think it's a stinger to the elbow. We hit the ulnar nerve, and that makes the hand.
But doesn't that scare you? Once a player goes down, hey, let's keep them healthy.
And you need this team. I mean, this is like I said, the youngest team in the NFL. And going into the playoffs, at one point, until they ran up against Minnesota last week, this is one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I understand what they're trying to do by keeping that going. But when you see Watson go out with a non-contact injury, that freaks you out. You see a quarterback getting banged up. At some point during this game, he had to make the decision on protecting your players versus, keeping them out there in case something else happens.
It's like the Saquon question.
Saquon, I'm putting in there another run for the record, Howie.
But think of it this way. They're such a physical team. They run the ball so much. That offensive lines will beat up. If you play Saquon, you're playing all 5 starters on the offensive line. Right. I think the big key, and you make sense to me, is you got to go into the playoffs healthy.
I'm not playing in the first half. See how he does.
The ring. I think Saquon would love to have a ring, I'm sure.
And the records.
Well, he's not going to get the record because he's not playing today. Later on today, though, the Miami Dolphins still with a chance to get into the playoffs. They'll visit the Jets in what could be the final game of Aaron Rodgers' career. Also, the Rams will try to move up to that #3 seed. They still have a chance to do that as they host the Seattle Seahawks in their season finale. But first, another half coming away from Green Bay. Josh Blackwell with the Verizon play in the first half. But now, let's get it back to Lambeau. Kevin Kugler, Daryl Johnston, and Laura Oldman take it away.
17 degrees, it feels like it's 7. A little bit of trickery in the special teams game, and Blackwell is going to take it all the way for a Chicago touchdown. Up the middle, and it's DeAndre Swift. All Hornings record goes down on this run from Josh Jacobs. Today's game club presented by Progressive. As you look at the first half summary, both Christian Watson and Jordan Love got to the game in the second quarter. That punt return touchdown gave the Bears the edge. An edge they still enjoy by 1, 14.
An edge they still enjoy.
With my partner Daryl Johnston, I'm Kevin Kugler. The Bears get the lead. Their offense hasn't really done much in this game, and the Packers' big question is going to be about the health of their team moving into next week's play.
Yeah, the big thing is it's 3 phases, right? So the special teams of Chicago with the big play there in the first half, but the big question mark for Green Bay, not only the fact that they're not playing that clean game that Matt LaFleur wanted to, but what is the health of Jordan Love? What is the status of Christian Watson? What will they do with Josh Jacobs here in the second half? So a lot of things to take a look at.
You see Jordan Love warming up on the sidelines. It's going to take a little more to warm up than usual today because it's really cold. But Jordan Love warming up on the sidelines, he'll have a little extra time to do that. Remember, Packers won the toss, and they took the football. So in the second half, it will be the Chicago Bears who start with the ball. And here comes Caleb Williams back to work. His first time at Lambeau, the coldest game he's ever played in. Week 16 against Detroit, it was 29 degrees. That was his previous coldest start. His coldest college start was 51 degrees when he played for Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. You know, when you spend most of your career in USC, you don't get a lot of cold weather games. At least then, now they're in the Big Ten, you might get a few more. Down toss to DeAndre Swift. Trying to find some running room. He gets a few as we go downstairs. Laura Oakman.
I talked to Thomas Brown, who wanted no compliments when he gave to his team playing with the lead right now. He said, defensively, we are balling, but offensive-wise, he said, we need to do a better job communicating quarterback lines in and out of the huddle, making the right calls. We have it, but we're not playing really well. But Thomas quarterback about that.
He's been aggressive with his quarterback from a coaching standpoint since he moved into that offensive coordinator role and now as the head coach.
I think Caleb Williams appreciates that. How many times has he talked about we have to hold everybody accountable? He wants to be coached hard in that position. And Thomas Brown has done that for him. That's one of the big things. If you want more time at the line of scrimmage, get there.
On 3rd and 4. Quick snap, Williams to the air, and he finds Keenan Allen for a Chicago first down.
Working from the outside, just a little out and up again. We've seen this record a number of times. And again, there's another nice. And Drew Cooper is underneath Keyshawn Nixon over the top. Even a little bit of, is it a little bit of back shoulder there too? No, just a nice little spot into that window.
We asked Thomas Brown what he would tell Caleb, and he said, my conversation's ongoing with Caleb Williams. He said the understanding of who he is, who his identity is, he said, I want him to master that first. Off the play action, Williams buying some time. Nobody open downfield, and Williams will just throw this one away as he gets near the sideline. But he said he wants him to go disappear and go put the work in and show up as a different person when it's time next year. He said that's going to be the thing that sets the stage for great.
Yeah, how much have you done when you come back to the facility in Chicago and start to get ready for season 2? And where are you at that point? Again, like you said, the work that you did is not just about understanding us. It's talking to other people, watching film on other quarterbacks and see how they're doing some things.
Second down and 10. Big hole and a good coverage tackle. Getting that hole closed to make the stop was Edgerrin Cooper.
Yeah, I tell you, this guy is extremely dynamic. Watch him right here. He's going to move left, and then he's going to have to bounce all the way back to make this play. He did a great job with his eyes right there. Now, everybody knows that he can make those flash plays. The one thing he has to eliminate is some of the missed assignments and being out of position. Because that ball always finds its way to the person who has missed their assignment because it leaves a gap in that defense.
On 3rd and 8, pressure comes. Williams breaks free. Williams breaks a second tackle and a third before he's finally tripped up by Oladapo. Goodness, Caleb Williams working, and now Williams a little slow to get up. He's been sacked 68 times this year. He's been hit many more times.
Yeah, but just a little bit of awareness, right? Because here comes right off the slot, untouched, right to the quarterback. And you've got to know that Aaron Mosby is not picked up in that alignment, and that he has the ability to come free to the rusher. And it's one of the reasons why I think he's losing trust. He has more unblocked rushers coming at him during the course of the year than any other quarterback.
On 4th and 5, Bears go, and Williams finds Roshan Johnson for the first down.
Nice.
We're going to see a little arm strength. Caleb Williams showed it on this throw.
But let's go back to that last play too, right? We talked about pace, getting to the huddle, getting up to the line of scrimmage with time. That took a long time. You know, he's bigged up a little bit. He's slow getting back. It's a 4th down, and yet he still finds a way to make that conversion. And you can see from that angle right there, just the ability of that arm strength, feet off the ground, square shoulders to the target.
And the Bears keep the drive alive from the Packer 40-yard line. It's more.
A little bit of trickery, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen to the sideline.
Oh, and he threw a pick.
Picked off by Xavier McKinney. Is he
Ball!
here? And then he drops the football, and it's covered up by Green Bay.
Ay, ay, ay.
The 30th takeaway of the season for the Packers. Their most since 2011. And for McKinney, his first pick in the now 6-game span since he had
That's
his
so
seventh.
funny.
10:50 to play in the third, and Keenan Allen going to the air, and he throws the pick on the sidelines. Packers take over down 1.
I gave up my bespoke shaving subscription.
And I'll stop ordering everything that's trending on his.
That's so funny. I don't know why. The day I put on my Caleb Williams jersey, he's playing like this, and it's fucking Rex Grossman. Oh. Oh.
Interceptions with his 8th pick of the season. And to work goes Malik Willis and the Packer offense. Down by 1, a handoff up the middle to Emmanuel Wilson. And Wilson to the 47-yard line. Back to the interception first ever thrown by Keenan Allen.
It's one of the things that happens when you have guys that haven't played the position, right? So we're going to try to get it to Roma Dute down the field. And he's going to be covered. And so Keenan Allen's going to pull it down. Now, why he decides to throw it up the sideline when you've got 3 guys tiered over that way, I don't know. And that's one of the fears of coming up with a gadget play like that, because a lot of times those guys are excited about that play regardless of what coverage shows.
Second down and 7. It's Emmanuel Wilson with the first down. He picks up 10. Jalen Johnson tried that punch again. He was successful in the first half, but Johnson tried to poke it out, and Wilson wouldn't let him this time. First and 10. Wilson again, and Wilson. See, Byard trying to rip the ball out of his hands as he's stacked up at the 40-yard line. Laura Oakman, you had a chance to catch up with Matt LaFleur. What do you have to say?
Well, Christian Watson is out. Jordan Love is back out here. Matt said that elbow is feeling better. I did ask him, are we going to see him? He said, we'll see. I asked, what would determine why you put that in? He said, my gut. But I did say, considering the injuries, I asked him if anything changes in the second half. Josh Jacobs, starters, he said, nothing changes. It's football. We are playing to win the game. Nothing changes.
Well, they're getting some good play out of Emmanuel Wilson. Up the middle for another 8 and another first down.
Yeah, again, we're getting that duo right here and here. You know, on the down block, and then Sean Ryan does a great job of peeling off the down block, the double team, and coming off to the second level on the linebacker. So getting a lot of movement there on that front. It's been successful. That was the Jacobs touchdown run as well.
Here's by 1 with the Packers driving. Willis.
Oh, ball!
The ball is out, and it's scooped up by Chicago.
What a hit by Byard.
With the recovery as Kevin Byard dislodges the football.
Dislodges.
Yeah, this is strange because he's going to come from the right side. The tight end pushes him. Now, that shows me that there should have been a running back there. There should have been something, or was the tight end wrong in that protection? But you cannot let Kevin Byard go unblocked right to your quarterback, or bad things happen.
What if all I do for my type 2 diabetes
Eh.
isn't enough? Or what if?
Fucking classic Bears game today, bruh. My job is closing for the day. That's funny. It's gonna be sunny tomorrow morning, but it's gonna be like 6 degrees.
Packermania not feeling very wild right now. Kevin Byard with a sack that jarred the ball loose from Malik Willis, and now the Bears take over at the 46-yard line.
Come on, Caleb. Walk it in! All I want is Caleb just to play fucking well. That's all I want. That is all I want. This hit by Byard, though.
To pick that up. And so there's definitely a breakdown in protection here. And you can tell by Malik Willis, I should be fine. I saw Kevin Byard at the line of scrimmage, but I should be fine. My protection accounts for him.
On 2nd and 5, it's Swift down to the 46, 2 yards short of the first down. Well, after the play, you don't see this very often props in a football game. The finish card is brought out. The message for the Bears is to finish and finish strong.
Finish.
Seen a couple of those floating around on that Bears defense today. 3rd and 2 and a design run for Williams. He'll make a beeline to the sideline for the first down for Chicago.
That's a very good decision with Xavier McKinney and Ed Bach.
First and 10 for Caleb. Swift. Ooh.
Swift with a good run near the 35-yard line. We'll see if this one's backing up.
Holding. Offense number 84. 2-yard penalty.
Fucking why is Unk out there?
Mercedes Lewis with the hold. Carissa Thompson with the game break.
Thanks, Kevin. So the Bucs can clinch the division with a win today, as you know, but down 10. Saints Baker Mayfield steps up. It's Kane Durham in the back of the end zone for the 6-yard explosion. They cut the deficit to 3. Meanwhile, Washington has pulled David Daniels out of the caution. Marcus Mariota is Zach Ertz to score Washington back in front 10-9 over the Cowboys. Kevin?
Interesting. So the Cowboys battling in that one, but Washington with Mariota gives them a lead. Of course, if Washington wins, Washington locks up that 6th seed, and the Packers will punch their ticket to Philadelphia as the 7th seed. Here's Swift on 1st and 20. Rashawn Gary with the tackle after a couple. Delivering of 2nd down and long. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff today. A 94-yard punt return. We saw a challenge had to be used earlier in the first half by Green Bay. No expedited review, so they had to throw the challenge flag to get a play overturned. We've seen fumbles. We've seen interceptions thrown by wide receivers. We've seen a little bit of everything today. Second down and 18. Williams. That bounces off.
Oh my goodness!
Of Edgerrin Cooper, and ends up in the hands of DJ Moore. What were we saying? We've seen a little bit of everything today.
Haven't seen that one yet.
2-yard gain on the play. DJ Moore's looking at it going, where did that bounce from?
This is crazy. And again, it shows you the athleticism of Edgerrin Cooper being out there in space, you know, with a lot of feel, but great concentration by DJ Moore just to be able to react and secure that football, get something positive out of it.
3rd and 16. Williams over the middle. Roshan Johnson down inside the 45, well short of the first down, back near the original line of scrimmage at the 43, and it'll bring up 4th down. And on comes Torrey Taylor and the Bears punt team. Coming up on 4.5 to play 3rd quarter.
So Green Bay's elected to go punt safe, which on this side of the field sometimes you do when it's a 4th and 10. Now with the Bears, punt protection unit has to understand is there's some defensive linemen and some pass rushers across from it. This is not your traditional punt rush team.
Taylor, Reed waving for the fair catch at the 16, and that's where we will see the Packers offense take the field next. Down 1, 4:08 to play in the 3rd.
Taxes was waiting and wondering and worrying. Now Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who does everything for you. Who can do your taxes in a day, so you can get up to $4,000 instantly. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
Wings and pizza.
You mean pizza and wings?
16 boneless wings, 1 pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Guys,
Get a large stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99 only at Pizza Hut.
I think people who go out and drive in this kind of weather might be the dumbest, like most peasant, like just not smart people. And then they get stuck and they're probably like, whoa, how am I stuck? It's like, what do you mean how you're stuck? You're fucking stupid. Caveman brain. Ba-na, ba-na. Ba-na, ba-na.
They say, forget me, 'cause I know what I need. Like a loser like me could be fine. I'm heavy, but don't say, don't tell me what I want, what I need. Like a loser like me would be fine. Maybe I'm living in my head. Maybe I'm living to pretend. Maybe I wanna stay in bed, far from the weight of the world in my hands, 'cause they don't understand.
To Chris Brooks from quarterback Malik Willis, and Brooks out to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 8 before Jalen Johnson can make the tackle. You see the score up in the left. Carissa told us earlier about that touchdown that gave Washington the 10-9 lead. Dallas with a 3rd and 13 coming up, down by a 1. Scoreboard watching. One of the best times of the year for them. 2nd and 2. Brooks trying to find room up the middle. Pushes the Miles just a little bit. Did he get enough of the first down to depend on the spot? He needed the 26-yard line, and it looks like it's a first down.
It's an interesting thing with each of those opponents, though, in the playoffs, right? You know, everybody obviously looking at Philadelphia as the number 2 seed. Oh boy, we don't want to go to Philly. Jalen Hurts hasn't played in a couple weeks. How healthy is he? You know, maybe we want to go to the Rams. Really? I mean, Matthew Stafford's been on fire the last few games. And, I mean, 9 out of 11, I think that went down the stretch. And Baker Mayfield, I mean, 5 touchdowns last week. Looked like he struggled a little bit this week. But, you know, who knows what happens when you play Tampa Bay. So Green Bay's going to, it's going to be a challenge for them, whoever they get.
Oh.
And he comes to sidelines and out of bounds at the 33-yard line. But the bigger question is going to be, Darryl, who's healthy for Green Bay next week? Christian Watson and Jordan Love both go down on the same drive. Watson will not return to this game. Jordan Love is back on the sidelines. Doesn't look like he's coming back in. We may have seen the end of Josh Jacobs. He's healthy. But, boy, the biggest question for Matt LaFleur all week is going to be, is Christian Watson available? Is Jordan Love available? 2nd and 4. And off to Chris Brooks. And Brooks in the secondary. Upended by Jonathan Owens as he gets to the Bears' 44-yard line. A pickup of 23 for Chris Brooks.
Yeah, a really good job. You're going to get the pin and pull, and then a really nice job coming inside. Again, it's Tucker Kraft. That's the harder block. through the hole and gets the kick out. So just, we see duo concepts for some big plays by Green Bay. When you get that double team and you climb to that second level, those are the ones that I love, the old school gap scheme blocking that we saw in that last play.
Brooks now 7 carries, 56 yards this afternoon. Willis. It's Wilson with the grab.
Nice, Kyler.
Nowhere to go. Kyler Gordon all over him as we go back to Los Angeles. Carissa Thompson.
Thank you, Kevin. So the Panthers making it difficult for the Falcons today. Bryce Young and it's Tommy Tremble with a 12-yard score. His third touchdown of the day. We are all tied up at 24 in Atlanta, Kevin.
Boy, and Atlanta unable to take advantage, at least at this point, of Tampa Bay losing to New Orleans.
Jalen Johnson's hurt.
That tackle still down on the turf. The sole Bears Pro Bowl selection this season being tended to by the athletic training staff as we step aside from Green Bay.
Before taking Breztri for my COPD, I had bad days. Days ruined by flare-ups. That could permanently damage my lungs. Then, I talked to my doctor about Breztri, and I noticed things changed. Breztri gave me better breathing. Starting within 5 minutes, my lung function improved. Breztri also helped improve my symptoms, and was even proven to reduce flare-ups, including those that could send me to the hospital. Now, I worry less about bad days and enjoy more good days.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsening breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Can't afford your medication? AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Ask your doctor about Breztri for COPD.
When I was younger, my calling was to play football. But as I grew older, I grew wiser. I realized life isn't about how many people you can knock down. It's about how many people you can lift up. At Ram, our calling is to build game-changing trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
You know, we only just met, but I can't imagine my life without you.
Today is definitely colder.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Our survivalists are playing a game out there and trying to survive. We are playing a game in here to give me anxiety.
Your loved one's fate is in your hands.
I'm terrified.
I just want to go home.
I'm not hitting the button.
Press the button.
Extracted. Series premiere Monday, February 10th on Fox.
Jalen Johnson walking off to the sidelines. They'll tend to him on the Chicago sideline. Now 2nd down and 12 for Green Bay. Tucker Kraft in motion. Willis to the 40-yard line. Octavian Wicks with the catch. It'll bring up 3rd down. Back to the injury.
Jalen Johnson. We had the non-contact injury to Christian Watson, and we've got another one with Jalen Johnson. There you can see him just kind of go back and plant, and then as he transitions out, kind of pulls up a little bit and then reaches down for that knee.
He will head to the locker room. Final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
And here's Terrell Smith, who's come in for him on that outside corner. So did they go after him? They didn't on that last snap. They went to the opposite side of the field.
On 3rd down, it'll be Brooks who gets the carry. And Brooks fighting his way to the 37-yard line. Brandon McManus, his career long is 61. That was with Denver. His long with Green Bay is 55. They'll line up on 4th down. They don't have to snap it. Can they coax the Bears to move? And they don't get anywhere close to set to do that. And we go to the 4th quarter. Where were we at the end of 2 quarters? 14-13. Where are we at the end of 3? 14-13. Bears still by 1.
With Cascade Platinum Plus, I have upped my dish game.
Oh, see, in that dishwasher.
Watch me.
Platinum Plus gives you the highest standard of clean, even in your mission.
Clean enough for you?
Yeah.
Scrape, load, done. Cascade Platinum Plus.
You know how I know for a fact that football's been in the making? Here we go. 5 out of 32 teams in the NFL named after birds. That, my friends, is a scheme to move chicken wings. Look, no one's naming teams after birds just to sell
Wings! Kicking big deals all season on Uber Eats.
Is that the cheese so real one?
We're gonna make every second count.
Dr. Larson has no recollection of the last 8 years.
You can't leave her in the dark forever.
Mom talked to me like she used to before everything happened.
Dr. Larson's asking questions.
I don't know what I did, but I am a damn good doctor. And I will get that back.
Doc, all new, Tuesdays on Fox.
Hey, welcome into breakfast, Paul. Give Americans what we want. More football. This guy is an absolute freaking unit.
I think I just know more than these players do.
Everybody told you gotta play the game.
No, you don't. That's right.
Practice ball. Weekdays on FS1.
It is official. First things first. The head reviews are in. First things first is a mix of analysis, tremendous chemistry, and total ridiculousness.
First things first. Weekdays at 3 Eastern on FS1. I speak in the name of the White Rudolph.
This kingdom is ours. Nobody is going to take it from us.
If you have Christ, all the other stuff is overflow.
Christ.
From heaven, you see this child will never see peace.
That's what I'll be fighting for.
Fox Faith. What?
A cold day at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin can confirm the tundra is indeed frozen in Green Bay. As we welcome you back to the start of the fourth quarter with Daryl Johnston, Laura Open, our entire Fox Sports crew. I'm Kevin Kugler.
The tundra at your toes.
Yes, very frozen. 4th down and 3. Packers offense stays on the field.
More than 3.
Some movement against the Bears team. No, they're going to snap it. They give it to Reed, trying to get to the edge.
Nice.
The Chicago Bears defense is up to the challenge. Terrell Smith leading the charge for Chicago. And the Packers turn it over on downs.
There's just no chance for Jaden Reed on this play. I mean, the great job starts off with Kyler Gordon right here. He's going to be the one that forces it, but then you've got multiple players coming in. And there's no way you're going to capture that edge. Something was not right there.
Down and 10s, Caleb Williams back to work. And on first down, toss play, well defended. Keyshawn Nixon into the backfield, and it'll bring up 2nd down and long.
Yeah, it's so hard because when you're out in formation, you're going to be right here, DJ Moore, and you have to stay still, and Keyshawn Nixon moves inside, and you're just like, all right, DeAndre, I hope you saw that because I am no help for you right now.
2nd and 13. Clock winding down. Williams gets the snap with 1 on the play clock. Zips it out. Catches
A Komet sighting.
2-yard line. Komet gonna break free after the catch. But for Caleb Williams, again, we talked about it. It's not the arm strength. It's not the physical tools. There's just going to be growth that has to happen in other areas going into his 2nd year.
Absolutely. And in small steps. And it's going to be a process. And I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but And one of the other things that quarterbacks coach Gary Joseph talked to him about was, hey, I'm going to talk to you about a guy who was 1-15 his rookie year and a guy that was 3-13 his rookie year. They're both Hall of Famers. Troy Aikman was part of a 1-15 season, but he was 0-11 that year. And Peyton Manning is the 3-13. So, you know, it's not what you do your rookie year, it's how you start to grow and mature as a player.
And a timeout is used by Caleb Williams. That play clock winding down before this 3rd down and 6. We get this from State Farm.
What's Andy doing?
He saves so much bundling home and auto with the personal price plan that he got excited about the football with football.
Bundle and save with the personal price plan, Phil.
So do you kick it or pass it?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Part of that maturity that you're talking about with Caleb Williams is knowing when to use that timeout before a critical play.
Yeah. Well, we all saw it at Thanksgiving, and you know, hopefully that lesson has been seared into your brain.
3rd down and 6. Williams, pressure comes, gets away, throws.
Oh!
DJ Moore right at the sticks. Did he get the first down with progress? He did.
What a play, Caleb. Great play, Caleb.
The great thing is he knows where the threat is, right? And there's the guy that everybody's talking about here in Green Bay. Very talented, athletic, and he makes a miss with a free run. And then the composure to reset, find your receiver, and give him a catchable ball. Those are the types of throws that we showed you earlier. Those are the ones you see a couple of times a week, every week.
Sean Johnson works his way up the middle with the power after the run and down to the 44. Let's go back to that 4th down conversion.
Just watch. He's got his eyes right there, but he's calm. He's not panicked. He spins out, and then the ability to find the receiver, comes into his line of vision. There's DJ Moore right there. And the placement of the football. And again, Kevin, you've talked about it. You know, we see time and time again, you know, how he throws that football. But it's all those other intangibles that add up to that top flight quarterback play in this league.
Converts on 3rd down. It's 7 on 1st down, and now trouble for DeAndre Swift, and it's Cooper again leading the charge for the Green Bay Packers. And that maturity factor, Laura Oakman, is something that's the next step for Caleb Williams.
Ron talked a lot about it, owning the moment for a young guy. Good play, bad play, good practice, bad practice. Learn from it, you gotta move on. He said Caleb's still hard on himself in one play turns into 2 drives in a row, negative plays, because he didn't get over the one play. How Thomas is to help him keeping his emotions regulated.
3rd and 5. 3rd and 5.
Because he's emotional.
See where he is on 3rd and 5 with 3 receivers at the top of the screen. Packers rush 5. Williams
Nice.
throws, finds Moore, another 1st down. Back-to-back 3rd down hookups for Caleb Williams and DJ Moore.
Yeah, and this is a great example. You know, we sit there and
since 1967.
TD to interception ratio, the biggest one there, and he's the best at it. And that is one of the ones that's difficult when you get up here because of the talent level and how the windows shrink at the NFL level compared to the collegiate level.
2nd and 6, back to Moore. Blockers in front. DJ Moore weaving up the sideline. Moore inside the 10. Steps through contact. He's in for a Chicago touchdown. 32 yards for DJ Moore, and
and the Chicago Bears add to their lead, now 20-13.
This is blocked really well. The offensive line does a tremendous job getting outside to get these blocks. And let's not forget about Roma Odunze again as well. And then Javon Bullard, just a poor angle, coming up. That allows DJ Moore to get down that sideline and get the touchdown. But a really well-designed play, but the execution of it. And to watch Roma Odunze here today, just at the start of the game, he was not great on the outside, and he's been really, really good since early in the first quarter.
So they're going to go for two to try to hold 2 scores. 3 for 10 this year in the 2-point conversion department. Swift, back it goes to Allen. Looked like he wanted to throw it again. Now he's going to run, and he's stymied at the 5.
Keenan.
There is a flag down, and it may be on Green Bay. There may be a second chance for Chicago here.
Yes, I am going to be live for Raw tomorrow. I will be there.
Matt LaFleur wanted a clean, mistake-free game. He hasn't gotten it today.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, the most chaotic January 6th. Honestly, low-key, though. It might be more chaotic than,
There's 24 all the way to the top of the screen. But right there in the middle is where we think the hold happened.
So now they've opted to line up for the extra point instead of going for 2. So after the penalty, which would have shortened the distance, now they're going to line up and try the extra point.
I'm confused right now. I mean, you got a second chance from the 1.
No matter who wins Tribal Combat, we must accept the results and not storm the ring.
23.
The kick is good by Cairo Santos.
Confusing.
So instead of
Confusing.
going for the 2 and a 2-possession lead, they settle for still an 8-point game at Lambeau.
Went off the rails on a crazy train. Yeah. Tomorrow, Monday Night Raw, Netflix, it's going to be game-changing.
Thomas Brown's been working with him on, and some flashes of an eye drive. 2 tough third down conversions on that march for a touchdown.
But the big thing is let those guys around you help you out. I mean, that's a short pass to DJ Moore. Blocked very, very well by Chicago. But there was a couple of plays on that drive where it's understanding that, hey, that's my first read, and it's DJ Moore. It's Keenan Allen. It's Roman Dunze. They might turn it into something bigger.
Trying to find some room to roll, but he's stopped short off the 20-yard line. Join Fox in supporting the victims and families impacted by the New Orleans attack. Your donation to Love One Louisiana will assist with funeral expenses, medical bills, rehabilitation costs, and more. Donate at go.fox/NOLA or scan the QR code on your screen. So now the Packers, who will loss, are the 7th seed and headed to Philadelphia. By the way, Dallas is leading Washington, but the Commanders have a first goal to try to regain the lead in that one. A 21-13 lead for Chicago here under 10 to play. First down, Malik Willis.
Oh.
Oh! Throws to Jaden Reed, who's got a diving catch at the 34 for a Green Bay first down. Pickup of 17 on the toss for Willis.
What the hell?
Pizza. It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Guys,
get a large stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
Severance.
our message got out. He said we're famous.
All of us equally, one of us is like to star.
What did you see? My Alex wife, Miss Casey.
If you would find out what happened to her. Oh, she's still alive. You should have
missing a wife.
People like to call us an inspiration. Fine. Call us whatever you want. We're just here to play.
Have a game day snack in the oven? Just tell Siri. Set a timer for 15 minutes.
Fox Tuesday, it's the highly anticipated premiere of Doc. After a life-changing accident, Dr. Amy Larson wakes up with no memories of the last 8 years. Inspired by a true story, don't miss the unforgettable premiere of Doc this Tuesday on Fox.
Very intrigued by that show, Kevin. Very intrigued.
For the Bears, the intrigue is can they break these active losing streaks? 10 straight losses this season, tied for the longest single season in franchise history. 11 straight losses in this rivalry, this being the 210th meeting between the Bears and Packers. On first down, Swift trying to get to the outside and not much there. TJ Slayton. Bears with the 21-13 lead. It's Virginia McCaskey's birthday today. 102 years young. Watching Bears football, and the Chicago Bears trying to give her a terrific birthday present today. Happy birthday, Ms. McCaskey.
Happy birthday.
Second down and 10. Caleb Williams to DJ Moore, deflected it, and fortunately for Chicago, Keyshawn Nixon couldn't twist his way over to get the pick. Carissa Thompson has had nothing but update after update because lots is going on. She's got another one out.
You know it, have week 18. Here we go. Commanders down 2 to the Cowboys. Marcus Mariota breaks the tackle, takes it into the score, missed the 2-point conversion. They now lead by 4. Okay.
All right, Carissa, thanks. And oh, by the way, Dallas is in the red zone in that game. Down by 4. Again, that game matters here because if the Commanders win, they're the 6th seed, the Packers are the 7th seed. But the Packers have to rally to make that a thing. And we've got a whistle and we've got a timeout. Play clock was winding down before 3rd and 10 timeout.
Timeout, Chicago. 30 seconds.
6:49 to go in the 4th, and a 3rd and 10 coming up for Thomas Brown and the Chicago Bears.
I think that's been one of the big topics as well when we talk about Caleb Williams. And a young guy coming into the NFL, right? There's so much that comes in when you're setting that play and then getting it into the huddle, the time and making sure that everything's done correctly. To be able to have more time, the beginning of the season, when the Bears were getting at the line of scrimmage, there wasn't a whole lot of time left. We've seen a couple of situations here today as well. That's definitely one that they've got to get cleaned up. And again, there's a lot on Caleb's plate for that one too, making sure that everybody is moving at that pace. They're going to follow his pace.
3rd and 10. Williams checks it short. Nowhere to go. Carl Brooks with Roshan Johnson making the catch was right there to tackle him on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th and long, and the Bears will punt it away.
Yeah.
6:30 to go.
I didn't like this series. I didn't like the last 2 play calls. You're going to the well a little bit too often with DJ Moore on that quick screen. Now coming out here, trying to run another screen. It's 2nd and 10. It's 3rd and 10. And I think that Caleb Williams has earned the right in that situation to be able to be a little bit more aggressive down the field. We've talked about his ability to make throws. I think they should have given him an opportunity to show that.
So 4th and 15 after the 7th tackle for loss by the Packers today. And a short punt takes a little bit of a Packer hop, and it'll be down near midfield. And that's where Green Bay will go to work, trailing 21-13. Coming up next on Fox, the Dolphins continue their fight for their playoff lives, needing a win against the Jets to give themselves a shot. Others will see the Seahawks take on the Cardinals. That's coming up next. And that's the final seed battle in the AFC. The Broncos control their own destiny. Win or tie against the Chiefs, they are in that final spot. Dolphins will win and a Denver loss, they're in. Meanwhile, the Bengals are rooting for total chaos. They want everybody to lose, and then they get in as the final
season. I mean, that team has been unbelievable. The losses that they've had and the point total that they put on the board.
5:58 to go. Willis to the air on first down, and it's batted away. Terrell Smith in front of Dontavian Wicks with a diving spike, and it's 2nd and 10.
And how about that? We showed you Terrell Smith coming in for Jalen Johnson, and this is really well played. You know, don't get too far back in your back pedal. Good transition from the back pedal to the break and able to make a play on the football.
5:53 remaining. Packers need to put a march together here and have a shot still at that 6th seed. Malik Willis. Pressure comes. Willis with room to run. Flag is down behind the play, and Willis is down at the 40-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 63. Clear penalty. Everybody second down.
Back we go to Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles. Hardest working woman in LA today.
Here you go again. Bucks trying to lock in that division with the win. Baker Mayfield fires this thing into Jalen McMillan, who makes a fantastic catch. Bucks back in front by 1 over the Saints. Steph.
All right, Carissa, we'll hear from you in approximately 30 seconds after another game break.
Dallas Cowboys.
Don't spoil the game break. 5:25 and counting to go in the 4th. After the penalty, Packers with work to do.
Get there!
Willis gets away from 1, can't get away from the 2nd. Byron Coward the first to get there and gets the sack.
Wow, Chicago is very lucky. Watch how many times they have an opportunity to get Malik Willis on the ground, and they can't. And if this guy can escape and get the ball, I mean, opportunity after opportunity, and you gotta be careful about that.
Now 3rd down and 21. Willis, late pressure comes down the sideline. Jump ball, and it's caught. Malik Keith with the grab.
Every time.
Tyree Stevenson with the tackle. What a play by Malik Keith.
Yeah, you can't get behind the receiver in that position, and Tyreek Stevenson, he tracked the ball well. I don't know why he went around the backside of Malik Heath and afforded him the opportunity to make the first attempt at the catch.
41 yards later, now Emmanuel Wilson bouncing to the end.
Oh my God.
And remember, when the Bears scored their touchdown, they went for 2. There was a penalty when they failed. They settled for 1. And that's giving Green Bay the chance to tie it with a 2-point try here. Packers are 3 for 5 this year on 2-point conversions. Malik Willis will line them up for 2. Willis looking. And that ball slipped out of his hand. Trying to go over the middle was Jaden Reed there, and Willis just had that one fall out of his hand incomplete. Let's go back to the touchdown sequence.